World Raisers. Let's jump right into part number 2 of this amazing conversation between Matthew McConaughey and Sadhguru.
Okay. So, so in a desert means you're alone. So as you said in your own words, initially you're confused and struggling, but then as you pay attention, because when you nothing else to pay attention to, you naturally pay attention to how you work, every muscle in your body, the breath, heartbeat, everything, then you will start noticing what you call as within or what you call as me is an entire universe, and that's the only universe you've experienced. You have not experienced any other universe. The only and only universe and the only and only world that you have experienced is what has happened within you. Once you realize this, then you fix the world the way you want it, within yourself. Outside world, we do our best.
So you think it's the outside saying, because I've gone through that, man, I felt like I had to be in the know. Only recently have I shaken hands with the fact, no, I love to be in the know. I also want to be in the know of what I don't know. I want to know what I don't know and know that I do not know. And saying, oh, that's a good thing, Matthew, was what I'll tell myself. So, but do we not give ourselves enough credit to, or is the I don't know is like a blind spot? It's like, whoa, I don't know.
No, I know is a blind spot. Let me clear this. I know is a blind spot. See, right now, let's say you're driving, a truck was coming behind you and you saw it in the mirror. So do you see what is behind the truck? So you know there is a truck coming, but that's a blind spot, it blocks everything else. So right now you think, I know, that's like a blot in your brain, it doesn't allow you to see anything else. If you see I do not know is not about things around you. Fundamentally, see, you and me are sitting here talking long distance. We're sitting on a round planet, the damn thing is spinning all the time and also hurtling through the space at tremendous speed. In the middle of nowhere, nobody knows where this cosmos begins, where it ends. In the middle of nowhere, a tiny little mechanism called solar system. In that tiny little, super tiny place called planet Earth, in that Texas is a micro super space, in that Austin City is a super micro space, in that you're a big man. This is the problem. Because the moment I think I know, I become big in my perception. Once I become big, inevitably I'll make a fool of myself. Whether I realize this in this life or not, somebody who has eyes to see will see this is a bloody fool.
Yes, love it. I know is a blind spot. Heard. But we tell ourselves, the world tells us the opposite. That no, the self-assurance, the confidence, even if it's a false confidence, will get you, what you want. We reward that in life, in this life, in the mortal life. We reward that with money, with jobs, with even blue ribbons and gold medals sometimes. Is it an act of courage to lean into the I don't know? Is it to seek what you don't know? Is it a courageous act, or is that too much of come from a belief system? I'm just trying to make it tangible because
yes.
in this,
See, right now, do I know you are Matthew, I wouldn't dare try the second name.
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Rhymes with what would Madonna say?
So, so I know you're Matthew McConaughey, but do I know you? I don't know. I know you because when I see a person, I know many things that I know, I need to know to interact, to be with them and everything. But do you know some life absolutely? You do not know. So with the I do not know does not mean you are ignorant. I do not know simply means that maybe right now I'm seeing the surface, I'm always willing to look deeper and deeper and deeper. But the moment I say, oh, I know what's Matthew, he's a file in my mind, it's finished. So, I do not know does not mean that it's ignorance. See, we must understand this. See, however much knowledge you have, even if you have digested the libraries on this planet, still what you know in this cosmic space is a minuscule. But our ignorance is boundless. So the whole yogic system always identifies with ignorance. Because if I identify with my ignorance, then whether I am awake or asleep, my intelligence is always on, it never sleeps. The moment I say I know, my intelligence goes to sleep, it gets lazy. This is essentially determining what is the quality of your life. So do not ever let your intelligence go to sleep by saying, I know something. Do you know a blade of grass? I'm asking all the top scientists on the planet. Do we really know a blade of grass? Absolutely. We do not know. As you look deeper and deeper and deeper into it, there's more and more and more to it. See, the top scientists in the world have openly saying, we not only do not know, we will never know. All right? So this is does it mean these people are ignorant people? No, they may have more knowledge than most people on the planet, but they are saying this because they have looked deep enough into life. And if you look deep enough into life, you will naturally see what you know is a minuscule, what you do not know is an endless possibility. So do you want to take away the boundless possibility because you know a spot?
Wow.
Yeah, let's just touch on that because, yeah, for me, when I became spiritual and I admitted that I don't know anything, and then I surrendered to, admitting the ignorance, that's when life, kind of began, right? And that's when it kind of became, fun and interesting because there's so many things to learn and explore. And yeah, it doesn't mean that we're gonna eventually, know it all, because that's, not possible for our limited intellects. But before we admit that we don't know, then you're trapped in thinking that you do. So yeah, fantastic, great question, and then yeah, phenomenal answer, right? Just yeah, so in a way that we want to, it's almost like we want to punish ignorance. Ignorance is a huge problem. Well, no, the problem is that we're not admitting that we're ignorant, right? If you adopt a belief system and an identity, think that you already know and that you're saved and, and that's the way, this is the only way, and it becomes really solidified. Yeah, you're not admitting that you actually don't really know. And true freedom comes with that, right? Because then you're open. We need to be open to some of these answers. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big obstacle on my path once I thought I figured it all out. It was like, for many years, because I thought I know. It was very painful. Until the point, and then I just surrendered and realized I actually don't. And then it's like, wow. And then went up again.
Yeah, and it's so much fun when you don't know, because then there's so many possibilities to learn, right? You can study different philosophies, different religions, different belief systems entirely, right? And, with an open mind, and then using the understanding that you have gathered, and some discernment comes, and then slowly you can begin to, be blown away by all of this, this existence. So, yeah, fantastic.
I love it how he takes notes.
Yeah. Oh,
he's on it.
He's great.
I don't know is not ignorance, it's an endless possibility.
Ignorance is a boundless thing. Knowledge is a very limited thing.
Fun. Fun. That's what this sounds like. Fun.
Yeah.
The adventure. Can you open up your definition of expansion? You what most people would say would be your teaching, you call it technology. I like that clicks with me too. But can you open up to talk about your definition of expansion for us.
See, before that, what you referred to as technology, why this is technology is, see, if I give you a belief system, you may believe it, you may not believe it. If I give you a teaching, you may like it, you may not like it. If you give a philosophy, you may agree with it, you may not agree with it. Now I give you a technology. All you have to do is learn to use it. Whoever learns to use it, for them it'll work, it's as simple as that. So, it doesn't matter, right now, some people were complaining when that ISIS war was going on in Syria and Iraq. In America, some people that I know were complaining, can you believe it, they're using our iPhones and doing all these attacks. I said, this is technology. Whoever learns to use it, it'll work. You don't have to say any of your religious slogans to make it work. You learn to use it, it works. So this is… yoga is a technology, you just learn to use it. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, what you don't believe, all this doesn't matter. You just learn to use it, it will work. So what is expansion? See, word yoga means this. Well, you already came to a little verbal meaning of that, which simply means union, or actually that other definition you said, I'm sorry, I'm neither Latin nor Greek. So you said
Religion,
something about
or
yoking,
NRA,
all right?
To bind together again.
To bind together. The word yoga literally, if you go back to its original meaning, it means to yoke. You yoke together. See, right now, what yoking means is, see, when you sit here, you are an individual person. This is why I said the greatest magnanimity of creation is, it gave us an individual experience. There are swarms of insects here. For them, they don't have an individual experience, they experience themselves as a swarm, as a species. But we experience ourselves as an individual. Unfortunately, instead of enjoying this privilege, we have made this into a point of conflict between each other all the time, me versus you. But this is the greatest privilege that we can sit here. I want you to just imagine, suppose you looked at you or me from, let's say, Galaxy Z. What are we? Even through a telescope or a microscope, we are not visible. It doesn't matter what they have, we are not visible. We're such a tiny speck of dust, literally. But we have an individual experience, it's not a small thing. We can look at the universe and wonder what this is all about. This is not a small thing. So this individual experience or the sense of being an individual, when you take it too seriously, then you get lost. Then you have to yoke with the creation. You have to become one with it. Only then you know life, otherwise you are misunderstanding your psychological world as existential. Right now, this is all the problem with human beings. Somehow nature trusted that if we give you so much intelligence, you will make the best out of it. Tell me, Matthew, in your experience or in anybody's experience, does intelligence spell solutions or problems? Intelligence means solutions, isn't it? Unfortunately, today it's human intelligence which is causing all the problems, simply because we are too stuck with our individuality. We don't understand this is just a privilege. Tomorrow morning if they bury us in the land, we will become one with everything, all right? All this countless number of peoples who walked this planet and they also thought they are great people, where are they? All topsoil right now. You and me also will be topsoil unless some friends choose to bury you real deep, thinking you may raise from the dead, fearing rather. So I'm saying, we are anyway part of this. Without taking a breath, we cannot live. Without food, water, we cannot live. Without constant interaction, we cannot live. But we are acting like concrete block individuals. We are absolutely individual. Yoga means you obliterate the boundary of your individuality so that you experience your universality. Once you experience your universality, if I experience everything around me here, everybody around me here as a part of myself, after that, do I need any morality? Does somebody has to tell me, don't drop them, don't kill them, don't do this, don't do that? Once I've experienced something as a part of myself, with that I have no conflict. This is yoga. See, right now, for example, these 5 fingers, I have 5 more, okay, I'm only showing you 5. These 5 fingers, you also have 5, not bad. So these five fingers, right now I experience them very much as a part of myself. But this is just the food I've eaten. Food I've eaten means it's just the soil that I'm walking upon right now, it's just a piece of the planet. But right now, this is very much me. In my experience, this is totally me. Now, why is this so? See, right now, there's a glass of water here. The water in this glass, is this me? No. If I drink it, will it become me? Of course. More than 70% of my body is water. So what is it that happened? All that happened was, as you have a physical body, you have a sensory body. Your sensory body is the boundaries of who you are. See, if you touch your right… you do this, Matthew, with your right hand, just touch your left hand. Is that you? 100%, isn't it? Touch the chair on which you're sitting, is that you?
No.
No, how do you know? It's just that here there are sensations, here there are no sensations. So essentially what you're saying is, what is within the boundaries of my sensation is me. What is outside the boundaries of my sensation is not me. So, the sensory body has a presence of its own. We can just do this experiment right now. Just close your eyes, just for 20 seconds, briskly rub your hands like this. Hold them about 3 to 4 inches away from each other. Something happening between them, isn't it?
Yes.
So, what is happening is just that because of exuberant movement, now your sensory body expands. So, you know why people are rubbing each other all the time? Because somebody who is not you, you begin to experience them as a part of yourself, maybe momentarily, but it happens. So right now what yoga means is, you sit here without any outside activity, just sit here and make your life energy so exuberant and active that your sensory body expands. If your sensory body expands to the size of the room in which you're sitting, you will experience everything around you as a part of yourself. If your sensory body expands like the universe, then we say you are a yogi. That means you become one with everything. Today, if you go to a yoga program in a studio, people are calling themselves yogis, that's not what it means. It means that you obliterated the boundaries of your individuality and you became one with everything in your experience. Even if this happens for a few moments in your life, after that you are never the same again. Because everything that you see, man, woman, child, tree, animal, bird, everything, somewhere deep inside you know this is part of me. When you know this, you don't have to be driven by commandments or morals or values or ethics, no. You are running out of your humanity, the life that you are, and that's the way you should be. If your humanity is dead, then you need lot of morality. If your humanity is alive and overflowing, everything will be fine, you will do the best that is for yourself and everybody around you. And we would completely live a different life. And right now with this pandemic and everything, this becomes very essential. This is the time for us to stand up and show what kind of human beings we are.
Yes. Yes. Individually. And what you just said about the individual experience is all… that's who we are, that's all we have. But the yogi is connected with the universe. All right? So the I, it's where the I meets the we. The yoke of the I and the we. Would that be fair to say? That's how I phrased it. I and the all. Is it I and the all?
We means there are still multiples, all right?
So all? I and the all?
Yes, you are the all. Right now, I launched a whole program, an ecological program in India based on this. I saw that we had to increase the green cover in the state in which we were, which was at about 16.5% at that time, the aspiration was 33%. So I told them, see, you have to plant 114 million trees in the next 8 years. They rolled their eyeballs and said, how is that possible? Do you know what is 114 million? How can we plant that many trees? So I told them what is their population. It was about 62 million. I said, if all of you plant one today and one more after 2 years, then it is a done thing. Only thing is all of you will not participate, that's the whole problem. So I made a simple process, I made people sit under trees and made them breathe. I set up a spiritual process for them where I clearly made them experience, see what you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What they exhale, you are inhaling. Literally one half of your breathing apparatus is hanging out there. Once they felt this experientially, you can't stop them, they're still planting trees all over the place. Today, we have planted millions of trees and it's still going on. Right now, our goal is to plant 2.42 billion and Mark Benioff came in between and now he's telling me trillion.
Yes. What's after that? Is there such thing as the zillion, or does it go straight to Googleplex? Yeah.
No, after that, one day to be buried under a tree so that you become good manure for one tree at least. Because that's all the flesh I carry, only for one tree.
Hey, so question, so you have that experience, which you said lasted about 4.5 hours when you were on your rock with your favorite tree growing up through the crack, and you had that experience. How many years ago was that?
That was when I was… that was 1982.
So 82, so 21 and 18, 31,
years.
41, 39 years. Here we go. So, I think most people go and have had certain experiences where they felt like what I would call crossing the truth and going, whoa. I know I've had experiences in my own life where I'm like, that was true, it landed on me, it was as light as a butterfly but strong as a lightning bolt. I know that what I just realized is true for this time, that time, and all time, and I have to tell myself now, the hard work, Matthew, is going back into the busy society and maintaining it. Now, the problem with maintaining is I was doing tools to try and hang on to it, which is not what you're saying.
No.
You're saying, boy, it happens.
It doesn't need maintenance.
It's not
See, you're
maintenance.
not maintaining the sky, are you?
Nope.
You're not maintaining the sky. So, in our perception, in human perception, boundlessness means the sky. Boundary means the planet, in a way.
Okay.
So, when something really boundless… you cross some limits, see so many people, especially maybe not so much in Texas, I don't know, but more in California, I'm going there in a few days. Everybody talks about how they broke their barriers because they smoked this, because they drank this, because they did this. See, all this is fine, I'm not saying it's not genuine. See, it can be induced in so many ways, okay? You can simply do it if you just dance yourself crazy, like how the Native American people were doing. They were just dancing themselves into states where literally bordering on life and death kind of dance. But because of that, they broke through. But these kind of things if you do, you will have experiences. Definitely it may bring some sense of wisdom, but it'll also get you addicted to that particular activity. If any that particular activity, maybe a dance, maybe a drug, maybe a smoke, whatever it is, I'm saying if you create any experience within you with a certain physical activity, naturally you will get addicted to that physical activity. It may be alcohol, it may be drug, it may be sexuality, it may be adventure, it may be jumping off the mountain. For different people, it may be different things. But essentially you will get addicted to the activity because you see that activity as the source. Now, this is what is significant about the yogic process, that there is a step-by-step ladder if you climb, then after that, without any activity, sitting in this space, you can be in that state. Once that happens, there is no maintenance.
Voila.
Wow.
Heard.
Well, beautiful. I could would love to go on talking hours, days, and hanging out, etc. I really dig where you're coming from and happy you're sharing what you're sharing. Because I think you're turning a lot of people, obviously turning a lot of people on to themselves. Amen for that. For keeping us involved involved, and boy, we need that. Like you said, we need personal involvement now more than ever to evolve as a species. It seems, you know.
So this is a time, I'm saying, particularly in India right now, last 2 weeks have been grim, all right? It's been a very grim situation out there and still going in that direction. Well, now lockdowns, curfews, all coming, maybe it'll turn back a little bit, but we need to understand this, that we have come to a time where there are many not mainstream scientists, there are many, other kinds of scientists who look at various things. They need not be 100% wrong or 100% right. They're talking about how this has all happened because of the biological push we have done on other creatures, whatever. This is a script for a Hollywood movie, that how we pushed the biology and how all the virus sat together and planned and got at us. I'm saying not that, but I'm just saying, essentially, we have reached a point. Different generations have reached different kinds of situations, but we have come to a place, our fortune is right now, this virus, the carrier, the sole carrier is human being. Earlier, we've had this kind of pandemics or epidemics where carriers were mice, birds, mosquitoes, other kinds of things, we couldn't stop them. What we were thinking of in our mind at that time is how to completely eliminate all the mice on the planet, how to get rid of the mosquitoes, absolutely, genocide. We were planning genocides on them. But right now it is us, we are the carriers. You can see this as a great blessing and a great curse. If you would see it as a blessing if you are a conscious human being. Because if all of us across the world, I know this is right now an utopian thing, if all of us had the sense to 14 days, just be with 2-3 people that we are and not meet anybody for 14 days, the pandemic is largely over, all right? But we won't do that. We need a haircut, we need to go to the pub, we need to do this, somebody needs to go to the temple, somebody needs to go to the bar. Everybody has all this because we are such compulsive creatures right now. The significance of being human is, there's nothing big about us except that we can conduct the same things that the animals do consciously. We eat, we sleep, we copulate, we die, all right? The question is, if we do it consciously, it looks human. If you do it compulsively, it looks animalistic. So right now, this is the time for us to exhibit how conscious we are. As a generation of people, what sort of people are we? Simple commitment, I will make sure I am not infected. But if it so happens I'm infected, I will ensure it will not go to one more person. This much commitment, if we take, it's over.
It's a small, short-term inconvenience for long-term freedom.
And also, we are too committed to our lifestyles, we are not committed to our life. We think our lifestyles is life. No, lifestyles is a consequence of time, in the times in which we are living. Life is the real thing. So right now, focus on life, that this life should not be put to risk, no other life should be put to risk. Lifestyle doesn't matter, you can make your lifestyle differently, what is the big deal? Yeah, I'm driving and sleeping in a truck, so I've changed my lifestyle completely.
I hear you. Oh, I hear you. Great talking to you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Today. I look
Wonderful.
forward to our next time.
Yeah, I hope to catch up somewhere.
The laughter and all. I hope you have a great road trip and keep enjoying yourself out there, getting off road. And we'll talk to you next time wherever you are.
I'm crossing Texas, keep the cowboys off me, huh?
Oh, come on, you'll fit right in here. Come on in. I'll be.
It would, yeah.
It's about 974 miles east to west. Come on through, man. Stop wherever you want. Hospitable state. We'd love to have you. Let me know when you come.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Woo! That was awesome. I loved it.
That was fantastic. That was a great conversation. Yeah,
yes.
so good. Amazing questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey was on it, right? Taking notes. Yeah, really, 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 really great. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that, and then said, talk to you again. I hope they do talk again. That was great. Yeah, so lifestyle and life, right? We got to distinguish.
Beautiful.
We are life, right? What we do or how we behave, our compulsive tendencies. Yeah, that's not the truth. That's not the essence, right? We just have to be, the being, right? Beingness, right? Yeah, one with, the all. So we got to get a sense and a taste for that. So even a conceptual understanding, like once we dive into the spiritual teachings and the yogic system and what they're teaching there, and even within religions, you can discover this, that fundamentally it is about this oneness. There's one source, right? Yeah, we're all part of that, right? So even understanding that conceptually, then gradually, we can adjust our behavior, not to be guided by any sort of commandments or creeds or laws or rules, but just because we know, right? We know that we're part of the whole, right? And then when you go a little deeper, you read Sadhguru's book that they were talking about there, karma. If you understand karma as well, then yeah, you don't need to be guided by morality. You're just going to behave according to, the all reality, right? We're all one, right? Touch it on the trees, right? Yeah. There's the second half of our lungs are out there, in the trees. So, and even the water that we are. And I love when it says that we're just a collection, of dirt and this earth. And it's so true, but you really have to contemplate it to get a sense for that, because, all of the fruit and all of the food that we eat, it's coming from the dirt, right? So the trees are growing, the fruit based on the nutrients from the soil and the water. It's turning into that. In the sunlight, they're creating a fruit. And even if you're a meat eater, they're eating plants, right? So that food is also coming from the dirt in the soil and the sunlight and the water.
It's very humbling, that thought.
And then we're just a collection of that. But we've been blessed with, this consciousness, this awareness, a mind, and even, the ego, the psychological structure. We perceive ourselves as individual. And he's saying that's a great blessing, for a species to have that, but also a curse, a blessing and a curse at the same time, because we can't, distinguish. We're getting too caught up in our individuality. So we need to understand our wholeness and our oneness, become boundless, right? Expansion. So expand our identity to become more global, more, cosmic. And that's the yogic system. And then I love how it says too that it's a technology, right? Doesn't matter your belief system. So there's probably, Christians can buy and tap into yoga and get some realizations by just using the technology, right? And the other religions as well. It's like, so it's not even a religion. It's a technology, it's a system, it's a science, and it's a process. And then just boom. So you just do the technology. Technology is always going to work a certain way. It's going to have the certain results. So, do it.
Do it.
Heard.
Yeah. Oh, the conversation was so alive. Really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. So if you like this conversation as much as we did, please hit that like button. Remember to subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. Let us know what you think of this discussion down in the comments. And remember, raise yourself.
And raise the beautiful world. Thank you so much, everyone. And a very special thank you to all our members. We love you.
Peace.